Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're looking at just one source, a news report about, well, a really wild story coming out of Long Island. Our plan is to unpack this article, dig into what's being reported, and see what we can learn from what sounds like a business dispute gone completely off the rails.
Yeah, it's pretty startling stuff. The core claim, the reason it's news, is someone allegedly tried to hire a hitman.
Right.
And apparently not over like gang warfare or something, but to settle a business disagreement. It's just such a drastic alleged escalation.
Okay, so let's break down who's involved based on the article. It centers on Navdeep Singh, 48 years old, owner of Gravity Construction Corp.
Okay.
And he's facing charges.
Right.
Felony conspiracy and criminal solicitation.
Right. And just quickly on those terms for you listening, criminal solicitation, that's basically accusing him of asking someone to commit a crime.
Okay.
And felony conspiracy means they believe he, made an agreement with someone to carry out a serious crime. So the charges fit the basic story, allegedly plotting a hit.
Got it. So the article gives some background, the alleged motive. It says Singh and the target, they had a business relationship for a long time.
Yeah, but things apparently went south. About 2 years ago, they had a falling out.
And that falling out didn't just fizzle out. According to the report, it turned into the article uses the word bitter legal battle.
Right. And it specifically mentions multi-million-dollar pending civil litigation between their company.
That's a big deal. Multi-million-dollar lawsuit. That's not just some minor disagreement. The stakes are obviously huge.
Exactly. You can imagine the pressure and bad blood that could generate.
And the article mentions a specific flashpoint, too.
Yeah, it says Singh's company reportedly got kicked off a construction job, a job managed by his rival.
Oh, quote.
So that could be seen as, a direct recent blow in this ongoing fight.
So law enforcement, according to this report, they're connecting these dots, the long dispute, the big lawsuit, losing that job. They see that as the context for this alleged plot.
Right. The article quotes the DA saying the allegations stemmed directly from that years-long dispute and the lawsuit. It frames the whole thing as rooted in this business conflict.
It really makes you wonder, though.
Yeah.
How does a business fight, even a really nasty, expensive one, allegedly jump to this? To violence?
It's a huge leap.
Speaking of the alleged plot, let's get into those details from the article. The alleged contact with this would-be hitman happened May 29th.
Okay, so fairly recently.
Yeah. And the reported request wasn't subtle. It was allegedly kidnap, torture, and kill the rival.
Heavy stuff. And the article mentioned something about proof.
It did. Allegedly, Singh demanded photos, specifically photos of the victim's head and torso as proof the job was done.
Wow. Okay. That level of alleged detail is chilling.
And then there's the alleged payment. This part's really unusual.
Oh, how so?
Well, the article says it wasn't just money. It was $100,000 cash.
Okay, substantial.
And a 10-acre plot of land.
In India. Land in India? Wow, that's a very specific sort of unique offer, isn't it? Cash and international property.
It makes you wonder about the background there, right? Just based on the report.
Definitely. And was there an upfront payment mentioned?
Yeah, the article says $7,000 allegedly paid up front.
Okay.
And the planning, allegedly, didn't stop there. The report also claims Singh cased the intended victim's house.
So like surveillance.
Yeah.
To help the person he was trying to hire.
That's what it sounds like, yeah.
Yeah.
Providing reconnaissance, basically.
Okay, but here's where the story takes that sharp turn, according to the article.
Right, the unexpected twist.
The person Singh allegedly hired, he initially accepted the job.
But then,
almost immediately, the article uses that word, immediately, he apparently got cold feet. Or had a change of heart.
Chickened out is how you might put it colloquially, though the source doesn't use that term. He just changed his mind right away.
And crucially, he didn't just back out quietly. He went straight to the police and spilled the beans, told them about the whole alleged plot.
So that decision right there, that's the pivot point. That's reportedly what stopped it from happening.
Seems like it, based on the article. His immediate report to the police seems to have unraveled the alleged plan.
Which leads us to the consequences for Singh. The article says he was arrested on Saturday.
And arraigned the next day, Sunday.
Facing those charges we mentioned, felony conspiracy, criminal solicitation.
Yeah.
And the court's reaction. Bail was set high, $1 million cash, or a bond up to $5 million.
Wow.
Okay.
That definitely reflects how seriously the authorities are taking these allegations. $1 million cash bail is significant.
For sure. And the article includes comments from law enforcement emphasizing that seriousness.
Like the DA.
Yeah, the DA is quoted again calling it deeply disturbing. and saying it's unfathomable the lengths someone would allegedly go to in a dispute like this.
Unfathomable lengths, yeah.
The police commissioner also commented, according to the report, called it a very dangerous situation, and credited the DA's squad and prosecutors their hard work for preventing what he called a potential tragedy.
And he specifically framed it, didn't he? Preventing a situation where a business dispute would have been settled with murder.
Exactly. Which brings it back to the core, this allegedly extreme response to a professional conflict.
And this really connects back to you listening to this. Business fights happen. Sometimes they get ugly, expensive.
Yeah.
But this story, as the article lays it out, is an example of how things could allegedly escalate to an almost unbelievable point.
It's not just the headline, is it? It's those reported details, the gruesome proof demanded, the weird payment offer with the land.
Right. That mix of cash and property.
And especially that reported sudden change of heart from the person allegedly hired. That's maybe the most striking part.
It really is that human element, that immediate reported decision to go to the police. It completely changes the narrative, doesn't it?
Absolutely. It shows how even in these alleged calculated plots, one person's choice, maybe conscience or fear, can just derail the whole thing.
Yeah, it introduces this unpredictable factor right into the middle of it.
So just to quickly recap what the article reported, you have this long-running business conflict. It ramps up with lawsuits, then allegedly escalates into this elaborate murder-for-hire plot.
But the key twist, the person supposedly hired immediately turns informant,
leading to Singh's arrest and these serious charges. And we've just walked through the details as presented in that single news source.
It's definitely a case, based on this reporting, that makes you think about pressure points. High stakes, big money conflicts.
Yeah, and how those pressures, starting from maybe just a contract disagreement or a lawsuit, could allegedly drive someone to consider something so extreme.
But it also really makes you think about unpredictability, doesn't it? That reported change of heart is such a critical, unexpected factor. So the final thought for you is really about that. What does this story, as it's been reported here, make you consider about the potential extremes of conflict, and maybe more interestingly, how human unpredictability can completely alter the outcome?